So, Jesus, Toko, calm the fuck down, man. Are we ready to begin? I'm super hyped for this. So who does that body belong to? Whoever it is. I'm not gonna look. I don't want to faint anymore. I don't blame you. Roar. Roar. Yo. Good timing, Makoto. I wanted to talk to you. Shoot, what do you want?
So, in other words...
I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi?
In other words...
Correct. I'd love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. Well, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. Why are you asking about that now? What's nighttime got to do with it?
Naturally.
Isn't it obvious? This murder took place after nighttime. How can you know that for sure? Because just after nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about Monokuma. Hiro's been spending most of his time in the garden the last few days, so I figured he'd be here. Now I can confirm that when I arrived last night, there was no body here.
In other words...
So the murder could only have taken place at some point during nighttime after I left the garden. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina and I were in the gym together the entire night last night. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's rooms to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all four of us have airtight alibis. The only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kyoko.
That's right.
And if the victim really is Kyoko, then I'm the one without an alibi. Also, when we went to go get Hina and Toko, we stopped by your room as well.
What?
But you never came to the door. So where precisely were you? I just told you, man, I was dying in bed. You've probably never been ill in your life with your fucking perfect immune system, but some of us get sick, okay? I'm telling the truth, I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so... That's hardly an alibi. I know. So what now? You seem to be at quite the disadvantage here. I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? Yeah, you don't say. That's pretty shit. Byakuya's account. Okay. Oh god, yeah, we're collecting evidence, aren't we? It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay. And? Oh, well, I was just thinking about when we found we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should look back at what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock as usual, and I headed for the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I met up with Hina. That was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym, where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then? 9 o'clock. Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot right now. That's right, it had to have been right around 9 o'clock.
You know?
Ah, now that you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure that the body was found at 9 AM. Okay, my job's done. That's a pretty small job. Okay, but that's fine, we know that now. I wonder if there's anything here. I will not examine that body. Just to be sure, I should take a look at the tool shed. The body examining will be the last thing we do. The room is dusty and disorganized. In other words, a pretty stereotypical tool shed. Is this a top? Wait, was there a top in here before? I should probably look into that. It could be related to the case. No, there definitely was not a tarp in here before. The top is wet and covered with mud and grime, but the underside, it's totally clean and completely dry. One side of that tarp is wet and dirty. Something about that bothers me. That's the one thing in here that concerns me. You can fuck right off then, yeah? You know, what do you think? Listen, Makoto, do you remember how the body looked, you know, before it blew up? Yeah, before Toko fucked everything up for us, or Jack rather. Grabbed the fucking mask. if I remember right, it was wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. Also, there was a knife sticking out of the stomach and the area around it was stained with blood. I know, fucking dumbass, right? What a fucking idiot. She had no reason to do that. I'm sure she just wanted to see what was underneath the mask and identify who it was. But she just went for it, she didn't even ask if that was a good idea or not. Byakuya called out to her to stop, but it was a bit too late because by that point she had already grabbed the mask and was pulling it off. Apparently the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. They have really high heels to make themselves tall. Yeah, I don't know whose feet those are. Obviously we didn't get a chance to see it. Yeah, those are quite fancy boots. We'll have a look at them in a minute when we analyse the body. Byakuya said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody. Of how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it. Interesting point. Actually, if a knife had gone straight through them, there should be blood everywhere, yeah? Like what happened with Sayaka? Wow, thanks! That was a big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked. Well, having to talk about it like that helped me remember it a lot better too. So thank you too. Aw, we're friends. Oh, nice. Right, what's this thing? These are like fragments of something. They're all burnt, so I can't really be sure, but I feel like I've seen something like it before. But where? Wait. Was it there? I'll have to double check that later. Yes, it looks like the bomb that was in the Monokuma robot. A knife. This is a knife. There's a knife laying on the ground. Is this? Yep, that's the one. It must be the knife that was stuck in the body before it exploded. It didn't go very far, did it? The force of the explosion must have thrown it over here. 2 feet from the body. What an explosion. The Monokuma file said the knife went all the way through the body from front to back. Does that mean the knife is what caused the fatal injury? Not necessarily. It also said there was a head wound. Not that we'd be able to look at that anymore because the body has been char-grilled. Either way, this knife looks really familiar. Wait, is this... Ah, my survival knife, that's it! It's the knife that person was holding. The person that looks identical to the one, the corpse. Who could have seen that coming, huh? This is getting really weird. There are just too many strange coincidences. I'm gonna peel. Whoever the person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And that same knife was used to stab the same masked attacker we found here. So maybe this masked person got stabbed because... when they attacked, I was in a kind of trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife. And maybe then I... How would you have gotten all the way to the garden with the corpse? And if this really is Kyoko, it would mean Kyoko is the one that attacked me. But why the mask? I don't know, she came in... She literally came in right after. We heard a bunch of people beating each other up noises. And then Kyoko, without the cloak, without a mask, standing over him. This was after the fact. I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. Not if at the crime scene. Right, let's have a look at the fucking body at last. If I check the body more thoroughly, maybe then I'll find out for sure if it's Kyoko or not. What's there to look at? 4 things. Okay, well let's start with the chest, why not? The upper half of the body got set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened. Also, the top half of the body is wet. That's because it got set on fire and I threw water at it. Since I only threw water on the part that was on fire, top half, the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. There isn't, right? No, there sure isn't. Bang. The white jacket the victim was wearing got totally burnt up. There's only one little piece left. What's this? On the hand? Huh? There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. They're really long. They seem like they get in the way of normal activity. Fake nails have been added to the truth book section. Also the tattoo, you know, the tattoo, important, maybe make a note of that as well. There you go. There's also something on the back of her right hand. Is this a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but it looks like a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it before. Tattoo on her right hand. And then this. The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it. Which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's nothing strange about that. Right? I don't know. Sorry, I'll restart what I said. So at 7 o'clock, Makoto wakes up to the morning announcement. At 7:30, Makoto and Aoi arrive in the dining hall. Between 7:30 and 9 AM, Makoto meets the others in the gym, and together they head to the headmaster's room. At 9 AM, Toko is told to find the pickaxe in the garden where she discovers the body. Then there's a knife, the same one that Toko gave us, the same one that that strange masked figure had. I found a tarp in the shed that was wet and dirty on one side, but clean on the other. Byakuya, wondering where the fuck I was during this whole incident, as they were all in the gym dismantling Monokuma while I was dying in bed. And then what the body looked like with this mask. Knife going straight through it, the white coat. That's all I found so far. Nothing super major, just going through the list of evidence.
Huh?
What's wrong? There's only 4 chickens here now. We're one short. Ah! That's so weird. I wonder why it disappeared.
But
I was down here just before nighttime last night and there were definitely 5 chickens then. What are we gonna do? Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the structure of the world.
conspiracy.
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If even a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. I did my best to ignore Hero and focus on the problem at hand. Isn't 4 a bad number? The sound for 4 is the same as the sound for the word death in Japanese, so I think they don't like that number very much. Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case? Chicken coop! Okay, I think... Oh, a sprinkler system. I never saw that before. Those nozzles poking out. Are those the sprinklers? You wanted to get to the other side of the road. Yeah, that's how we lost one. That's what happened to it. This is the panel that controls the sprinklers. They're set to turn on at 7:30 every morning, and Monokuma said the time positively couldn't be changed. Huh? Hold on. So the sprinklers turn on at 7:30 each morning, right? And if the body was here before that, the sprinklers should have gotten it wet, which would mean the murder must have taken place after 7:30. AKA, it wasn't me because I was in the gym at that time. I think I've checked everywhere I need to in this area. But I'm not done yet. There are other areas I need to check. Specifically that fragment I found before. There's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. And I still need to find out more about Kyoko, who is currently missing in action completely. Is that corpse really Kyoko? If that's true... Oh, Kyoko wears gloves, so we don't really know what her nails look like. But do you think Kyoko would wear, fucking bright red fake nails? Super long ones? Really? Come on now. Was that also Kyoko who attacked me last night? No, you stupid bastards. Of course not. If I can find out more about her, maybe I can answer that question. Kyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. You're acting like she's dead. You're talking about her like she's fucking dead, mate. You don't know if that's her yet. Maybe if I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. Hey, Byakuya. But the key to her room, that bastard took it.
It's all clear now.
I will simply limit your options. I can't allow you to engage in any further suspicious activity.
What?
Limit my options.
Just give up.
Give me the key to your room. I don't have a choice. I have to see if he'll let me borrow her room key. Will you let me borrow her room key? I guess he's thinking the worst. I don't blame him, really. Hey, Byakuya? If you do come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it. Later. At the class trial. Are we all forgetting how you fucked it the last time? Why are you acting like you're so cool? You completely flubbed the last class trial. You're not cool. Oh no, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect after all.
What?
Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. Oh, you just want to hang out with me, don't you? Then, will you go with me? Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later and we'll see.
Goodbye.
Depending on my mood, I may go with you. Or I may not. Come back later, huh? Okay, then in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe I should check out that one area. He's such a fucking... Yeah. Prick. Come on, man. So true, Bestie. Come on. There's something in here, I'm pretty sure. No, you can't get to it yet. Never mind. Later. I forgot. Yeah. I know. Can you fucking believe it? I haven't written much, but I've written some. And I'm gonna write the rest tonight when I finish this. I also need to find a way to send those other videos of mine to my computer. Monokuma's laying dismantled on the floor, but I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
I just found something. What is it? It's...
Huh?
It's what? A bomb. There's one installed in every Monokuma robot, I'm sure. Hey, those red panels look kind of like the fragments that I found. Bomb? And that bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. The fragments I found in the garden. Yeah. Bomb. Okay, I've checked everything else I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. Are you serious? I've got to go all the way back. Ugh. I shouldn't have even spoken to him the first time. What a pain in my ass. This is all under the assumption that he's actually up there. No, for fuck's sake. Fine. I'll trudge my way up to the garden and trudge my way back down, shall I? Dickhead. Take me to Kyoko's room. You think you can go soon, Byakuya? What could he possibly be doing? Honestly. You wanted to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well. Let's go. Ah, wait for me! Byakuya walked off without a second glance, and I hurried after him on our way to the dorms. Oh god, I don't have to walk there myself. Douchebag. Well then, here we go. Byakuya took out the key and slid it into the keyhole. And then, click! And it's open. Looks like it. Thanks. In we go. So this is Kyoko's room. It's remarkably ordinary. You got anything to say about this?
What?
You wanted to come here, right? So what is it you're looking for? Nothing in particular, I just thought we might find some kind of clue here. A clue that might help us understand Kyoko.
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's why you made me take time out of my search to come here? Sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete. Something to give us some sort of direction here. More concrete. Oh, I know. Earlier, Kyoko gave me something. Huh? What's this?
It's true.
Consider it a symbol of my determination. Don't open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Found it! What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it. Well, something has certainly happened, so open it. Okay. You had a good day? I'm so happy. Good. I'm glad you had a good day. Now you get to relax by watching murder investigations. The most extensive form of therapy. I opened the envelope and looked inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets. Kyoko. We're moving a little fast.
What?
That's all that was in there? Yeah, looks like it. Under the sheets. What could it be? Maybe under the sheets. Anyway, practicing backing vocals for a friend's gig, but we spent more time chatting than practicing. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that every time I try and have a conversation with somebody about something that I want to talk to them about, we end up talking about everything else but, and then they have to leave. And it's like, wait, oh, the thing I wanted to talk to you about in the first place. But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as I lifted up the sheets... What's this? I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Paper. Class 78 student registry? Mukuro Ikusaba? The 16th student? The one they called the Ultimate Despair? It appears to be Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. Yeah, looks like it. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room along with the key. God, you're so annoying! Fine, I'll tell you. It was a key and... That's it. That must be the blank that Monokuma was talking about. Kyoko said her death without meaning was unappealing, and this is what she left behind. I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. Okay. I made an effort to pull myself together, then looked down at the profile sheet. Name, Mukuro Ikusaba. Sex, female. The ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. What the fuck? She showed an interest in the military from childhood, and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information, and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined a mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, that she'd received battle training of her own volition. However, she never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. Wow, what an info dump of information. So, Fenrir, if you don't know, Fenrir is a giant wolf that is part of Norse mythology, which would fit in with the dog head tattoo that I found on the back of her hand. He's also autistic, so maybe it would be myself with him, even though we're quite new to each other. So, he's part of a band that you are close with? The Ultimate Soldier. A mercenary group. This doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in, it's like a completely different dimension. It's like one's non-fiction and the other is sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. That was how I saw things as just an ordinary person. But then...
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. Huh? You recognize it?
Naturally.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses, and they always get the job done. That's worth remembering. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir is already...
Found it!
Whoa! I feel like our hero is becoming a bit player and a bit player is becoming our hero. Ah, it's you!
What?
What do you got in your pretty little hand there?
What?
Uh-oh! You found her profile? So what if we did?
Hey!
Don't freak out on me, I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. And in case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either, even though she stole and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? But who I can't forgive is Miss Ogami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivorous, you know.
What?
A rule violation is really so unforgivable. You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication to organization and order. Which is why even I, as the school headmaster, have to follow the regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course!
Absolutely. I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all is now, can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? Interesting? It's about the one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking I should probably clarify that.
Hey!
When you all first got together in the main hallway way back when, there were 15 people there, right? I think that first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding amongst you all. Misunderstanding? Are you saying...
In other words...
That's right. There weren't actually 15 of you.
Yes, indeed!
The total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16. Then...
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Yeah, someone, I can't remember who, brought this up during the very first trial, that there was an empty seat that we had all gathered at in the class trial room. And when asked about the 16th seat, Monokuma was just like, don't worry so much about that. He had dodged the question completely. The 16th student, Makuro Ikusaba. She's part of this school life. So the one making all the regulations is...
Why?
I don't know, man.
Huh?
Did you say something? Why are you telling us this? Oh, well because... like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we got so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up to a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know?
Yes, indeed!
Makes sense?
Well
Yes.
now.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge? I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kirigiri, so I'm going to share a little secret with you. So seriously?
Hey,
You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in, day out, all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Okay, now that's all you get. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Kyoko wears those gloves to cover up a bunch of scars. Wait, so on the back of her hand? No, not that kind of scar. The tattoo. Wait, but no. Marukuma specifically said they were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears those gloves. To hide the scars. Which means... that's not her. Those fake nails on the corpse. Are you thinking about Kyoko again? Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Mikuro was a student here.
That's right.
Obviously. Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mukuro is the one creating the rules to the game. But why would he tell us that? And why now? He said he wanted to make things clear so there won't be any complaints later. But the mere fact he said that proves that Mukuro is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro is related to the case?
It's certainly
Perhaps
possible.
she's the one who killed Kyoko. What? That would explain why we have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she killed someone, that would make her part of the school killing game. Mukuro is the killer? She killed Kyoko? Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? I don't think that's right, though. I think you're as wrong as you were the last time you decided to make claims like that. In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began.
What?
But, based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Makuro Ikusaba isn't the culprit. Huh? What makes you say that? We thought Makuro, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity. Shit. Well, God. Christ. Don't do this to me, game. But if that's true, Monokuma's behaviour makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That's a good point.
So, in other words...
Makuro giving us information that would raise questions about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense, then, to assume that Makuro isn't the culprit. So that's the trap. They want us to suspect Makuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. The way you say it, it definitely does seem possible. But if that's really true, if Makuro isn't the killer, then who is? Interesting. Well, now we know for sure that there's an extra student. Ugh. It would mean that Makuro isn't the culprit, but it would also mean that she's not the mastermind. Because she wouldn't bring herself up like that. He's a solo musician who's doing an album launch gig, which I'm singing backing vocals at. Oh, that's so cool! You have an open mic. You meet quite a few people at open mics, I find. Good way to make friends, I guess. Okie dokie. I wonder if there's anything in her drawer. Nope, can't even look at her drawer. Oh, there is this. There's something on the table. It's a woodblock decoration.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. The lockers at those really traditional public bathhouses use them for their lockers. I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse. I'm just simply too unbelievably rich. That doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing something like that. What, bathing with commoners?
It's certainly possible.
But if it is a key, I think I might know what it unlocks. Really? What? Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that this might go to. The dojo? Woodblock key. Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation. I should find out if that key and the dojo really are connected.
Let's go.
Well, are you coming? You want to go with me? I think he just really likes hanging out with me. Hurry up and check the locker. That's what we're here for, after all. Alright, jeez, Mom. Lock the locker, God. There are wooden lockers here. They use woodblock keys just like at those super traditional public bathhouses. It looks like the key we found in Kyoko's room really does go to one of those lockers.
I see.
Makoto, do you see the locker farthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means, right? I should probably use the key we found on that locker, right?
That's right.
Well, just try it. Okay. He definitely likes being with Makoto. Makoto has that protagonist riz, where everyone, even the mean characters that don't like anybody like him, and want to be around him all the time. He's a beacon, he's a shining beacon of just sunshine and rainbows, and no one can help liking him, even Byakuya. I took out the woodblock key and inserted it into the locker's metal lock. And... click. The locker eagerly accepted the key. Don't phrase it like that. And it opened. There are arrows in here? It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong despite how thin they are. Died again. Died. I'm gonna use this opportunity to lie on my back and try and ease my shoulder pain. I hate this shit. Are we back? God damn it, because I have to download like 40 different fucking videos. Like, keep doing this shit. It's so dumb. Oh, anyway. What are we thinking, Byakuya? Is something wrong? You look brooding and constipated. What's wrong with you?
Very strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? No. The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room?
Why?
Or perhaps... He's so stressed. Byakuya? Forget it. Come on, we need to continue on to the next location. Huh? What next location?
What?
There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir. Fenrir? You mean the mercenary group that Mikuro was a part of? But how are we supposed to find out about that? The archive, maybe? It's got all sorts in there. Isn't it obvious? Where in the school would you go to do research on something? Research? Are you talking about the archive? That's right. The archive has all kinds of info that the general public doesn't have access to.
Let's go.
We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. I need a cough, hang on. Ugh. Makes my voice go all weird when I cough. Oh sweet, here we are, nice. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Byakuya seemed to know the archive like the back of his hand and went straight to a shelf in the back. And here we go. He quickly returned with a file in hand.
I see.
Take a look at this. I need to set up a little bit, otherwise I won't be able to talk. Take a look at what? Have you had a coughing fit on stream before? Like every stream, dude. If whooping cough, I can't not cough. I often turn the mic off. It happens involuntarily sometimes, but I've started doing it like on purpose in an attempt to just get it out of my system. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French? I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Not Japanese ones, anyway. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. 100 times? Isn't that kind of extreme? Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There were unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate that they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they'd acquired. Some, however, believe that there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded. I bet Mikuro killed them all. Because she is the ultimate soldier, she was the best out of all of them. So I bet she went and she killed them all and then came back to Japan and was like, I want to live a normal life. I want to be a botanist. I don't know. Something like that. That's exactly what happened. I'm calling it now.
What?
What is it? This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Makoto, you need to understand, bad shit happens in the world, okay? Conspiracy theories abound. This is a video game. You need to get a hold of yourself. Well, it isn't. This is our reality. The only reality. Though, nobody tell him. These people are a part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much more different from our lives here. An unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting. Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use. So did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. Now that you mention it, the report said something about where the name Fenrir comes from, right? That's right. It said Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad will get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. Yeah, the wolf. What? They got a tattoo? Of Fenrir? Could that mean? Yeah. Uh-oh. Not good. We're out of time.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us, organisms, the earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial!
I don't know what that means, man. You need to start speaking normal English.
So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later!
Then the time has come. All we can do now is try to uncover the truth during the class trial.
That's right.
It would seem that way. Let's go. Oh, this. Alright, you should put some WD-40 on that. Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. What were you guys doing? Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you? What, are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking, embrace yourselves. We'll be here any second. Is that not what it's called? Did I goof? No, it is what it's called. I was right. Don't laugh at me. Yeah, be worried I said something stupid. Any second. He'd show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. Are we missing someone? I feel like we're missing someone. And I know we're missing Kyoko, but it just feels like we're missing someone else. But we stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or... Or what? Jesus! Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? Me! I'm so important! What? I made you wait? You got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here, now can we? It's just funny because I say that every time I hear a squeaking door or two. We make a lot of WD-40 jokes at college because the wheelbarrows that we use are always squeaking and squonking. And it's super embarrassing walking around with a squeaky wheelbarrow. Nobody wants to be the guy with the squeaky wheelbarrow, okay? It's awful. The only thing that can alleviate the embarrassment is making a WD-40 joke. What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
Hey.
I'm here. No rule's been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive! No! There's a ghost! Stop talking. Woo! It's Kyoko! She's great. She's still alive, of course she is. She can't fucking die. She's immortal. She'll live forever. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
Is that
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish. So spoiled. You're right. There's no penalty, officially. But I bet you'll be sorry later. No. I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of ya. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. She's like a celebrity. We're all just super happy. We're like puppies running up to their owner. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
indeed?
Of course I didn't die. She's amused. She loves us. Thank God! I'm so glad you're okay! Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? Easy, he's speaking pragmatically. He's right! Now we've got to deal with a ghost! Told you. Stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the class trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. They've got a bit of a rivalry going on because he doesn't like the fact that she can solve things that he can't. Master! Wait for me! Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But...
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. I do notice that, there's a lot less sadness involved with this one. Because with all the other class trials, everyone's like... There's a sense of, kind of... Not sadness, I don't know what the word is, but... I don't know, there's depression in the air that... Your friends are dead, and one of your other friends was responsible for their death. And then they get executed in a horrible way, and it's just like with the last one, it was, very emotionally charged with, Hina being very protective of Sakura after her death, and everybody else accusing her of being a spy and being a bad person and everything. And then with this one, we have no idea who the fuck the body is. Clearly it's not Kyoko, who was our only potential, lead when it came to who the victim could be. Now we're pretty sure that it's Mukuro, who no one here has spoken to or knows, so no one really cares. It's like you say, it's not one of your friends who's the victim. There's a much lighter atmosphere during this class trial simply because we don't know who it is. It's more a case of trying to solve the mystery than it is trying to attain justice for the murdered. It's more we're all a bit confused and we want to know what happened just to sate our own curiosity. Also, Kyoko. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So...
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came back down. Just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words,
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? Kyoko's account.
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial. Okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For... her? That's a strange way to put it. Ugh. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
What if that's all? Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And down we go into this rustic tin can. And the doors slid shut. Oh, it's so awful seeing how empty this fucking elevator is now. This time the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. Oh, it's all pink.
I can't wait.
Ah, I've been waiting for this! I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Thrills,
Let's get on with the show!
chills.
And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Here we go. It's hippin' and happen'. Oh god, this. Alright. Truth bullets. What am I doing? What have I got? I vaguely remember. It was only like 5 minutes ago that I discovered all this shit. Bottom fragment, sprinkler, that'll be important. So dramatic. Makoto was the real diva, isn't he? How does the chicken coop come into all of this? Where'd that chicken go? Who ate that poor chicken? A deadly dead person. She probably was quite deadly. I mean, not so much anymore. It's a tarp. This shit confused the hell out of me, I'm not gonna lie. I had to look up what the fuck this was referring to in the actual class trial. I'll explain it when it happens. But I was like, what the fuck do the arrows have to do with anything? So yeah. There's a lot that happens actually in this class trial that confused me and upset me, and I want to talk about it. The entire beginning part of this class trial, considering I was enjoying chapter 5 so much, and the investigation was really interesting and good as well. The beginning part of this class trial pissed me off because it's so unserious. Now I just think it's funny because I've started analysing Danganronpa more as a comedy as opposed to taking it 100% seriously, which makes it way more entertaining when you do that. But at first I was like, no, it was all going so well. It reminded me of... I got chapter 3 flashbacks where everything was going well up until the class trial, and it was just... To be fair, the rest of chapter 3 wasn't good, but I was like, no, you can't. You can't do this to me now. After having such a good story. Oh, fuck it. That's good enough.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Okay, man.
Well
Thanks,
then,
Will.
let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
Bakura.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Oh my god, I want to hit myself in the face.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
Thank you, Toko. Brain cell.
No, that's a ghost.
It's Toko's turn on the brain cell. Kyoko's like, I'm not even going to entertain this level of stupidity.
But she has legs and stuff.
That's what you're focusing on.
Well, that's just because
Ghosts can have legs, they just don't use them.
she's
Duh.
the latest evolution in ghost technology.
See what I mean about this being fucking dumb?
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Thank you, Byakuya.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right?
I have proof. She's standing right there. Proof.
Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Oh my fuck. We're actually doing this? Actually doing this.
Her traits?
One important trait Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her. Well, she has a face, and the corpse doesn't. Anymore, that is.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
I love his voice.
And would you happen to know the answer?
We do now, yeah.
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you
Oh,
have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
She's like, fuck, I don't want him to know about that.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
She wouldn't have hands either.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
There's no way that corpse was Kyoko, considering she's right there. But if I can't prove why, I'm gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. See, Hiro is fucking it up for us. Because he's the one that won't be able to let go of the stupid talking point. So I don't have any choice but to prove his dumbass wrong. This was the trial that made me like Byakuya, because he was the only one out of the cast remaining that has a brain cell, right? That's actually intelligent. I mean, we've got Kyoko, but she doesn't say very much.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
I'm a ghost? Interesting. Fuck.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Actually,
That
no.
corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
See, that's why I like him. That right there is why I started to like him. Because he thinks this is just as dumb as I do. He was the only one that was being rational. And I was like, thank you, Byakuya, for being the voice of reason, and I never thought I would say that. And then I started to like his character.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
What's the exploded body analysis? That can't be right then. Fake nails would have been burnt too.
Okay.
Must be the
then
nails,
prove
right?
it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well,
Oh, it would be the nails. Yeah, it would be.
She must have been wearing gloves.
Yeah. They wouldn't fit her without the with the nails. I forgot about that.
No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine
ones.
trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Also, the hands will be covered in burn scars.
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
And you're a little too simple, my guy.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
The only saving grace of that scene was that it happens right at the start. So now that we can get that out of the way and over and done with, get the stupid shit done with, now we can move on to the actual class trial. It's not that it gets dropped right in the middle and ruins the flow of everything. Like suddenly, halfway through, we have to debate whether or not Kyoko's fucking dead or not. It happens right at the beginning and we can move on and get on with the serious shit.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Byakuya is losing his patience with Hiro right now. Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Okay, I'll do that. I know who it is already, but you know.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
His voice crack.
Gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
It was scorched beyond recognition. We could use the hand, I guess.
Kyoko really is still alive.
Then who died?
There's gotta be some... I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. You think something I said is wrong? No I don't. Sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to.
If Kyoko really is still alive,
What then?
then
This?
who died?
What is this again? This confuses me. This is just about it being dry and wet.
There's gotta be some... I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do,
Oh
right?
no, that must be it. We can't identify the body, but we can. Maybe.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some... I don't think so. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
No! God.
No,
The tat? Yeah, it is the tat. I just tried to figure out which one it goes to.
there was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
Yeah, man. You guys need to do your investigating as well. Like, me, Kyoko, and Byakuya can't be the only one who's actually analysing this shit.
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Easy. Hold Jack back, okay?
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
I heard a twinge of affection in her voice when she said that.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Calm down, you.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
He's fed up. He's so fed up.
Oh, really?
They're all idiots. If you compare the tattoo to other information we have, the victim's identity should become clear. It's this thing. Yeah, this thing.
I got it!
Yeah, this.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
Wait, did we ever explain who Mukuro Ikusaba was to the rest of these guys?
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
Yeah, big puppy. Bit a man's arm off, according to the lore. The image that represents Fenrir is... Puppy. Puppy dog. Wolfie. Smash it. Tear, right? Yes.
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
So the story behind Fenrir is, in Norse mythology, they believed him to be extremely dangerous because he was a massive fucking wolf, right? So they put chains on him, but of course he wouldn't allow himself to be bound so easily. So they tricked him and said, oh, you can break out of these chains, we're just testing them. But in order to, he didn't believe them. Fenrir didn't believe them, so he was like, well, if you're being honest, somebody stick their arm in my mouth while you put chains on me, okay? And all the other gods were pussies and didn't want to do it. So they were like, well, I'm not sticking my arm in the mouth of this giant wolf, because as soon as he realizes those aren't chains that he can break out of, he'll rip my arm off. The only god willing to do so was Tyr, the god of war. So Tyr put his arm in Fenrir's mouth, they chained and bound him. Fenrir tried to break free and realized that he could not, and he bit Tyr's arm off. Which shows the bravery of Tyr being willing to do that, because he knew that Fenrir would not be able to break out, and he knew as soon as he did that, Fenrir would rip his arm off, which he did.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. Huge, world-ending wolf beast.
And also Ragnarok, yeah, important.
He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
She sounded very confident when she was talking about that.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly.
Wolfie.
The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
Not so fast.
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? Now we have to have a true last trial?
That's what we're doing.
It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
So there's another student who's the mastermind.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
You're not wrong. That does sound very supervillain.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Kyoko doesn't get things wrong. I'm thinking that she may have been mistaken, but I don't think she's entirely wrong. She didn't pull that information out of her ass, let's put it that way.
Who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
I'm wondering if she may have been hiding in the dorms. That's why Kyoko was in the dorms for so long. I'm thinking that because she was a soldier, she probably knew that something was wrong from the beginning and immediately left the killing game and went to perhaps hide. I'm not sure why the mastermind would have let her do that in that case, but I'm wondering if she had bailed on the whole thing in an attempt to stay alive.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit. It's a bit much. I can't really hear them very well. They're being a bit quiet, especially characters like Toko.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Oh, she's mad.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this.
Of course Monokuma wouldn't want us discussing that. He doesn't want us to come to any conclusions.
No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
And be careful with that.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
I love saying that. Get a hold of yourself.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Are you asking me? Again? Based on what they know? What we know, there can only be two suspects. Me and Kyoko, right?
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain.
Oh,
Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
Shook. Get a hold of yourself. Slaps face.
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs.
That was probably at his behest, right? He was probably the one who came up with all that shit. Like, don't go anywhere alone, you know?
All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis.
Here we
The
go.
only ones without
It's
alibis
happening and happening.
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Exactly so.
Yeah, dick. So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Yes, actually.
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body?
Not so fast. There's other things going on as well.
But what time did we find the body?
9 o'clock.
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time was it the body was discovered? 9.
I got it! The body
You
must
gonna
have
have a
been
flashback?
discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Damn it. Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock. So it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay. Go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Right. But the body was dry. No, they'll talk about it in a
Which
second, I'm
means
sure.
from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
I do actually. We'll talk about that in a sec. The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. and I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. Okay then. It looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. Which is what we're gonna do. We're doing it. It's happening. I'm proving my damn innocence. Haven't done this since trial 1. Why did I draw the short straw?
We've
This is going
established a
short.
time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night
Sprinklers.
and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
I love this music.
Yeah,
It's so
from
good, dude.
10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
The whole soundtrack is glorious. You should definitely listen to it. The incident took place in the garden, right? If I remember, there's something that happens there every morning at a certain time.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night
You sure did.
and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Bang. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. Makes me think something weird's going on.
Shoot!
Oh, what the fuck do you mean? Game?
We've
Is it-
established a time frame for the murder.
This. It might be this. It might be
It
the
took
because
place
that's
somewhere
the one that
between
says the
10
body is
o'clock at
dry.
night
And 9 o'clock. Yep, and Makoto...
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Fuck this game. Don't fuck me up like this.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that
We're
time.
probably sprinklers.
Yeah, from
For fuck's
10
sake.
o'clock to 7:30.
But this is when it happens.
That's
So
more
how is
than
it not
enough
this?
time to commit murder, I should think.
I'm running out of
So
time.
Makoto, if you have any objections,
Bethany, what is it?
now would be the time. We've established a time frame for the murder.
I don't
It
know.
took place somewhere between 10 o'clock.
What the fuck? How? What do you mean? That has nothing to do with the sprinklers. Oh, fuck off.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Shush. Don't stop being weird now.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
Now you said it, not me.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not
face.
because of the sprinklers.
The horror.
What do you mean?
There's not water on it. Oh yeah, she wasn't there. She was blown up.
By denying
forgot.
the sprinkler, Are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Oh my god. You get a hold of yourself.
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
If you shut up, I will. I need to prove it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence and that should do it. Wow, it's almost like I've done this a bunch. I threw water on it! Am I seriously doing this? Bullet time battle. That's what we're doing right now?
I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me?
Oh my fucking god, no.
I'm right about this. I admit nothing. No!
I hate you so fucking much, I'm not gonna lie. You're one of my favourite characters, I fucking hate you right now.
Nothing. No! That's enough. Are you trying to blame me?
Yes.
I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing.
Ah, fucking fuck.
Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing.
Oh my god, why? Come on, man, are you fucking...
Blame me? I admit nothing.
I'm gonna kill myself, actually. Oh, fuck you! Toko, you stupid piece of shit. Fucking stupid. Byakuya, tell her that I threw a bucket of water that you gave me on corpse. Oh my god, I can't hit this fucking woman.
I admit nothing. I'm right about this.
Oh my fucking god.
How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
This should prove it.
I hate you. Good lord.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion. and
Absolute
you'll see why it
concentration.
wasn't the sprinklers.
Oh my god, I hate this. Stupid bullet time battles are the worst.
The top half of the body was wet, yes. But the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
You're talking about yourself right now.
I'm so sick of her.
Audience stand-in, Hina.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because... while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Yeah, we're very lucky that Makoto has good aim and didn't just spray the entire fucking body with water. Otherwise we would never have been able to prove that it wasn't wet from the beginning.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
I could have told you that.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
Hang on a minute, what about that tarp? This isn't the first time a tarp has been used in a murder.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. If you mean that Makuro's killer is... No. I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing.
Go ahead.
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Like he's scolding a child.
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything.
But Kyoko's MO isn't to kill people.
So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko?
No, that doesn't sound like her at all.
But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all.
Kyoko doesn't make mistakes. You do. And you're making one right now.
And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
Shut up, you.
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
He's such an idiot, Byakuya. He's fucking stupid. This guy's dumb.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
No, don't pin it on me, Kyoko, no.
Huh?
She's not wrong.
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
True.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'm listening.
So you were wrong then,
All it would
dumbass.
take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
A certain something that the scene was used to cover the body. Could it have been? Yeah, the tarp. It was dirty and wet on one side.
You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the
It's
water.
a tarp!
In fact,
Ah.
that's exactly what the killer did.
Basically this trial in a nutshell.
The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water.
Hang on a minute. It should have blood on it then. Because the side that was wrapped around her is completely clean.
The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Shit. She really is better than me at this. Why would Kyoko say that? Sad puppy noises. Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. There's no blood on the top, so it should be bloody. But it isn't. Body before the explosion, perhaps?
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
But it should have been.
Actually, One side being clean is pretty strange.
I really hope that Makoto really does shout, "No, that's wrong!" every time somebody makes a mistake. I really, like, every time in every trial, I hope it happens. I hope he's actually saying that, it's not just like a gameplay thing. I hope everyone has just accepted that he's kind of weird.
The blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they used it.
And then it would be clean on the other
If
side
they
too.
had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that,
Boxes.
what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood was camouflage.
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
There are blood packets in the nurse's office.
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
Read my mind, hero.
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
They got blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must mean... No, the chicken! The chicken!
I got it!
No, not the chicken!
Could it have been chicken blood?
Poor chickadee.
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around.
Make use of the corpse, I suppose.
Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken
Makes perfect
went
sense to
missing,
me.
which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense.
There's always something, isn't there?
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
But when would they have taken the chicken? Because what she said about, oh, they used the chicken so that they didn't get caught walking to the nurse's office and back. Like, they would still have had to... Because the body was probably placed into the garden after the blood had been applied, but then where was the blood applied? Where was the body originally?
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
No, it was not.
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to set it up so that it makes me look not guilty.
if that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
Which would make my alibi useless.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
He's not. That's an interesting way he just phrased that. He didn't say it in an accusatory kind of way. He's almost scrutinizing me. Like, he's doubting whether or not it's me. Because I think even he knows that Makoto isn't the kind of person to do something like that. I think perhaps even he's a bit unconvinced, even with this obvious lack of alibi. Saying it's inadequate is a very soft way of putting it. And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Why would you do this to me? Disguised dead body. Oh god, another
Well
one.
then, it looks like we're back to square one.
We made no progress.
Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Our lives are on the line, you dunce.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Oh shit.
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me?
It's the
Wait.
knife we gave to Makoto?
It was Kyoko's idea for me to have the knife. Is she setting me up? Shit. They're accusing you. They are accusing me. Yeah. It's just like trial 1 when all suspicion fell on my shoulders. Except in that trial they were all very keen to accuse me. Now it seems like they're all a bit unsure. Even though most of the evidence points to me doing it, especially with this new revelation that Hina's just had, as opposed to Kyoko. But even so, they're still a bit unsure and hesitant to accuse me, considering they all seem to trust me so much.
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed.
Kyoko is using Makoto as bait again. She absolutely is using him as bait in this trial. In fact, she's using him in a pretty horrible way, to be honest, considering what happens later.
The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
She does have her trust issues, but it is... Considering the way this trial ends, it's pretty inexcusable. Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Here we go again. It's not my fault, I didn't do anything wrong, I'm just a boy. Ah, I'm simply a boy.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
Wait on.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Oh,
So
wait.
there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Hush. You have no room to talk. I used that knife to kill Makuro. No, there's no way.
The knife we found, it's the same one. It really is, isn't
That
it?
is the one we gave to
Did have
Makoto.
that seals it. Just because that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Damn it. Alright. I see what you're saying. I have absolutely no idea.
Shoot.
Fuck. I'm dying here. What else is
The
there?
knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
Fragments. When the body was found. I don't know. It's hard. I don't want to die. This is the other one, right? I'm gonna close. Wait. The knife is going through the jacket. But the jacket was placed over the corpse. So shouldn't the jacket be over the top of the knife, if the knife is what killed her? It must be what Hiro said about getting stabbed. I'm gonna try that.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that seals it. Just because I had that automatic?
Well, getting stabbed.
Ah, yes!
No, that's wrong.
I was right. It doesn't make sense.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body,
There was a knife through the coat.
the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Hang on. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed once. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. So, that was probably what killed her. in most of the cases in this game, it was blunt force trauma to the head that killed the victim. It was a head wound from a dumbbell that killed Chihiro. It was hammers to the head that killed Hifumi and Taka. Sakura also got some blows to the head, but ultimately didn't die from them. It always comes down to a blow to the head.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot. There's no way that's possible. This?
I got it!
Yeah!
The
Monokuma file.
clearly states that there was only
Coming
one
in
stab
clutch.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Thank God Hiro wasn't in charge of anything.
Then the knife...
was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
But why would they put it in the Monokuma file then?
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward.
If they never mentioned the blow to the head thing, we never would have known that she had a head injury.
They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but... what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
Hey, what a dick. Don't be mean to Hina. I'll kill
tell
you.
ya, I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
Possible, but unbelievably unlikely.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Me? Not me again. There's only one explanation I could think of for the explosion. Yes?
I got it!
Oh, okay.
After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right?
Sorry.
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
Yeah, Hiro picked it up.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Who would have thought a bomb caused the explosion?
Anyway, the culprit's motive
These
is
leggings, move
becoming
on.
more and more obvious by the minute.
So much to this case. It's the best one, right? It's amazing.
They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate.
Byakuya, the OG.
It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
Don't worry, as soon as the evidence points to it being me and not Kyoko, he'll switch up real fast. We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Everybody shut up a minute. Monokuma file. That'll be it, right?
Then, shall we continue the debate?
Sure.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure,
That's true.
I guess.
Well,
Yep.
yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right?
No.
And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then, shall we continue? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't then there's only one other.
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered
Maybe.
countless wounds across her entire body.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I have no
Shall we
fucking
continue?
idea.
The victim's fatal injury has yet.
Oh, okay.
No, it's wrong.
Had a feeling, but I wasn't entirely sure.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
It's hard when it's Byakuya because you don't know whether or not he's telling the truth or there's a contradiction there. So I wasn't entirely sure about contradicting him. Contradicting Kyoko is always a bad idea, even when her lines show up in yellow sometimes because she's normally being honest with you. And she's on your side, so it's best not to.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
And those are old.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
He's so... he gives up so easily.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Those three are so sibling-coded.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
Yeah, shut up.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto.
No,
Surely
fuck
you've
you.
deduced the real murder weapon?
For fuck's sake. The real murder weapon. This confused me because I didn't realize that what it was asking me to do, so I genuinely had no idea. I couldn't figure it out, but it's these fucking things, apparently.
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
You only know that because I said it. You didn't know either.
Are you sure?
Stupid ass.
That sounds kinda weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
Allow the woman to speak. You misogynist. I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Wait, what's Monokuma's count?
Titanium.
Shut up. Silence. Oh, his account was that... There's a 16th student. Oh wow, we didn't know that.
It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, it must be the duct tape then.
It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Are you fucking...
Back to Master! You have no right!
For fuck's sake. There's no doubt that the arrow is the murder weapon. There's more to it than that.
The titanium arrow.
Oh, this was what confused me.
So
I was like, how is it not? How is it not good enough? I didn't get it.
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound
Well, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal. It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Back to Master! You have no right!
Oh, shut me, Squeaker.
The titanium, it was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound
Well, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe. It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
There we go. I forget I can do that. I can slow down time as well as speed it up.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape.
What?
The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks.
I think they're trying to call you a faggot. Goddamn.
One stick is weak. We put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
Once again, talking about literary, literature and stuff, and, old stories, her stutter went away. It seems that whenever she's talking about something that she has an interest in, she becomes more confident.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
What? Kyoko. Blatant lies. Come on now.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say
His
that with
voice.
such confidence?
Well, I found her in there earlier.
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
We do? Yeah, the proof is that I found her in there literally, like, earlier.
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Yeah.
Of course I remember.
A bit hard to forget.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
Don't shout at me. I have evidence. Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. I did find the key in her room.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
It was in your room. Dum-dum.
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, I'm quite protective of her. Even though she's not being very nice to me at the moment, being that she accused me earlier.
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just... there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
Oh. She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? So she came in to beat their ass, and she came to my rescue. Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko... She killed someone. For me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
Indeed.
Should know.
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone. What does that mean? I did notice a minute ago that Byakuya was being very, insistent that we make the, verdict, on Kyoko. I wonder if he's feeling a bit defensive of me, that he's keen to keep me alive.
You just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof
He
that
hates
you
you.
aren't
Shut
the
up.
culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Byakuya should know Kyoko didn't do it. I love how their voices get high-pitched. Yeah, that's because I speed up time. Why him? Just make things go a little faster. What is Byakuya's account? Oh, no, it wouldn't be that then. That has nothing to do with...
Exactly.
I'm not the killer.
You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never hide.
there's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
Fuck, I missed it.
You stated a theory earlier. You
Which one
said
should I
hid
have?
the evidence of my and then left the locker key in my
Must
own
be
room.
this.
But
And I've got to
could I
contradict
really have done that?
Byakuya because he's the one that's got it wrong. Kyoko's the one that's got the
You
proof.
just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not the.
You should understand that more than
Fuck
anyone.
off.
Byakuya, what are you...
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Yes, he's got a room key. That bastard. How did he forget that?
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
It's almost like he wants it to be her, and not me.
Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
She's got an answer for everything, doesn't she? No. That's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie. What are you thinking, Purple Girl? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Oh god, excuse me. Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. Sure is. Mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? Well, he was very insistent on blaming her and like punishing her. Because he wanted to punish her for stealing the key and stealing the Makuro's profile. Even though he said he wouldn't hold it against her. He seemed very keen to punish her for that. He was desperate to punish her for being late. He was like, let's just set up a punishment right now because she's not here. So it seems like he's very keen to get her in trouble. You know what I mean? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro. And Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide, right here and now, whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. I was gonna run away. I do want to know what happens when you press this. So this is an interesting choice. Because it actually leads to another ending to the game. So what I had wanted to do was scroll down. Originally I wanted to scroll down to run away because I thought that was a funny option, but I misclicked and accidentally clicked on let it go, which is the answer that you're supposed to choose. I'm going to cycle through all of them. I don't know if I have to do the whole class trial again. I don't think I do. But I am going to pursue the lie at first to show you guys the other ending. No, running away isn't going to solve anything. So, when I first played this, I didn't have a fucking clue what the lie was. Because I was fully convinced that because Kyoko didn't have her room key, she couldn't have accessed her room. So let's see what happens. Let's see what the lie is, shall we?
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you.
No, she's not wrong. No, wow.
So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
The lie was, something that you didn't... you didn't need to tell me that earlier. Kyoko is definitely lying, and it must be because there's some other deeper truths she wants to keep hidden. Kyoko's account, isn't it?
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya.
That's true.
There's no doubt about that, right?
Right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
You could have.
No, that's wrong. No, Kyoko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
Actually, to be precise, not quite. I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? Yeah, she had a master key. Indeed, she did. Yeah, you're right, Bethany.
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school.
Kyoko made a serious blunder telling me that. If she went on to accuse me of potentially being the one who killed Makuro, then if I had decided to turn spiteful, which in this particular choice I have, and pursued the lie, her telling me about the master key that can open any lock, if that was her gambit, her final, like, Hail Mary of trying to defend herself by saying, well, I couldn't have gotten into my room to place that cardboard key, then I couldn't have been me who did it. but she told me that she could have. So she made a serious error giving me that information. Was it because she trusted me? Did she just not think about it? Did she not even realize what she was doing when she gave me that information? If she's so distrustful of other people, then she should never have told me that.
Which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
Then, are you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
No, don't interrupt.
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you! But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
Mm-hmm. He's awfully excited this trial. I really hope I don't have to do the whole trial again and I just get to start back up from that choice. Sorry, Kyoko. Your time is up. Good job. You got it right. Brilliantly right! We got it right? Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko! No, she won't want to talk to me now.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment!
Is everyone ready? Okay then.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Uh-oh. Kyoko has been found guilty. Ah shit, here we go again. Not this again. Uh-oh. Bethany, did you get this ending when you played? Oh. Has she been tied to the seat? Oh. What a sound effect. And that's how the class trial of Makuro Ikusaba came to an end. I still had to wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent, or... Regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me. The noises are fucking gross. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Makuro's class trial. And in the end, it would prove to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder at Hope's Peak ever again. We had obtained peace in exchange for the lives of all the others. Hahaha. What an image. Peace, but only inside the school. So, Toko fucking died. I'm not sure what happened here. This is quite the image. But what's killing me is that Byakuya looks so fucking happy that Toko died. Look at Bro's face. He's never known peace like this before. Oh my god. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we had. Hope. Hope. Hope? This is hope. I'm sorry, what the fuck is this? Oh. Well, you know what Hiro said about, he's like, I approve of this. Oh, it's so funny. It's not canon, obviously, but it's so funny. Hiro said something about, like, the mother of his and Makoto's kid being the same. So I guess this is kind of like that. What I don't understand is how Byakuya got in on all that. He now had a child with all of them? Yep.
No! This isn't right!
This is just a fever dream he's having. His illness is coming back. Hiro looks awesome, though, to be honest. Hiro always looks awesome. Huh?
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Her claim? Wait, what the fuck? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I have to... do I expose Kyoko's lie or not? Yeah. She's not wrong. I have to think about this carefully. So that was the, so-called bad ending. Where Kyoko dies because you decided to be a prick and, expose her truth. Or her lie, rather. Expose the truth. But then, can you really blame me? Because she's been kind of an asshole to me this trial. What do I do? Well, we already know what happens if we pursue the lie, so maybe we should just give up. I also like the idea that the, that non-canon ending was just Makoto having a fucking fantasy idea in his head. Like, the class trial slows down a little bit and he just starts zoning off and starts coming up with random ideas. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. My guy, you have way too much faith in this woman. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal?
Nope.
Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact?
It is fact.
I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
I'm sorry, Bethany, your reaction to that was so funny. So, I'm sorry, what the fuck is this? There's so much of that in these games, I think.
But of course, I
weird
have
shit.
an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
True that.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
It was on the table! You were in the room with me, you dullard.
What? It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's
Makoto,
gotta
you were the
be
one.
a hidden side to this case.
You were the one that was like, oh, it couldn't be Kyoko because. And you refused to expose her lie, and now you're like, wait, it wasn't me.
Huh? A hidden side?
I get why, because obviously it wasn't him, so he's trying to defend himself, but.
First of all, There's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't
Yes, there's corruption going on behind the scenes.
you? Lucaro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Oh, we're getting too close to the truth for you, huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
I like how his hair goes all squiggly when he's in certain moods.
What
It's
do
got
you
mind of
mean
its own.
time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's
There's never been a time
for
limit ever.
voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you.
Voting time?
Uh-oh. Ah, now we did it. Damn! I did fucking good. Hey. Oh, amazing. What an interesting class trial. I wonder who the actual killer was.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Who's gonna vote for who? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I couldn't defend myself in time. I got too cocky with my words. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone. You're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job?
Yep.
They got it right. No. I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey.
It makes perfect sense. It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials. And I'm gonna end it the same way. But oh no.
Kills, kills.
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I? Kyoko?
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Not this again. I hate being found guilty. No. It wasn't me. Byoki's pissed. His favorite punching bag is gonna die. He can't handle it. Oh no, now it's me in the fucking death chair of doom. Poor boy. My boy, he's gonna die. Shit. Which is canon? This one. The one with Kyoko was just him daydreaming. Ah, it's alter ego! Coming in clutch. Nah. What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Oh yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter ego. Alter ego. Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this!
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No. You miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch. An itch. That stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Well, shit! Alter Ego came in and saved my ass. I got really lucky with that. What I don't understand is, they could have done the same thing with Kyoko's ending. Because Alter Ego would have come in to save Kyoko had it been her, as well. Because the virus activated at that pivotal moment, and it would have happened regardless of who was sitting in that chair, I think. But the game has to go a certain way, and I understand that, so... Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What
are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Shit. No, because that was Makoto's daydream. Oh yeah, you're right. No, you're right. So what I thought it was when I first heard about that ending was that I thought it was actually a separate ending. But the way that they made it is that it was just a daydream. Yeah, you're right. He wouldn't have foreseen that. If he had actually pursued the lie and it wasn't just a daydream, Alter Ego probably would have stepped in to save Kyoko. Yeah, you're right. My bad, y'all. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Oh, it's the beginning of the game. Did I restart somehow? Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend the school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. So how did Mondo get in then? So he has to be attending high school, but even if he's enrolled, I doubt he attends very often. And to be scouted by the school, who would pick a crazy biker gang leader to be part of the school? Is that wise? I'm also wondering if the school knew about Genocide Jack being part of Toko, and whether she was a student by proxy or whether or not they actually intended to invite her in. It couldn't have been. I can't imagine that the staff and admin at Hope's Peak were that stupid. But even so. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. No, not this again, no. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever. Zonk. But what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then, I was awake. He actually said that, yeah. Well, he was thinking it. Zonking. Or was this just another dream? He's so silly. A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern, with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. Oh, this must be where all the shit goes. Did they dump it? No, it goes into the incinerator, doesn't it? Is this where the remains to go? It's mostly construction stuff, like girders and shit. And wood. And chairs. What's all this shit doing down here? This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. How did he survive that massive fall, by the way? Like, that was a bit risky. I mean, granted, less chance of dying than getting smushed, but still. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me, and he used up the last little bit of strength he had to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. I love how he still considers Alter Ego a friend. Like, an AI and shit. He's still very adamant that they're friends. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Maybe the door? Maybe... Well, shit, of course, it's locked. I'll kick it down. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, okay, never mind, didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I might as well find something comfortable to sit on. I decided to look around for some food. In a garbage pit, Makoto. Ew. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink, and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up. Because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was... take a nap. Go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out the sky. And then a sign came falling out the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. It was a person. What the... Strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Let's check it out. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out towards whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Crunch, yeah. Sound effects, right? It's like a fucking DC comic. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
You got a little something. Just up a bit. This place smells awful. Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. Vine boom. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. The noodles. Thank you! I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up, then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Thanks, Kyoko. She came down here to get me. But, Kyoko, do you think they rock, paper, scissored it? Like, who would be the one to go down here? Or did she volunteer? But, Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
No, she must have volunteered, because otherwise they would have all suggested that Toko be the one to go down here, because obviously she'd be right at home amongst the trash. To pay a debt. Or... no. To atone. Atone?
You...
Same. During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. Oh, no, she did. No, let her say this. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost. It's because you're smarter than everyone else, right? God knows the other fuckers wouldn't have a chance in hell of getting out of here without you, to be honest. Even though you can be kind of an asshole. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? She did worse. She baited you, yeah. She had no idea that I wouldn't have died. The only reason she can even make this apology is because of the luck and alter ego existing. She had no idea alter ego would come in clutch like that. She was fully anticipating I would die. I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak? I think everyone does. Fame and money?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did. Once. Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Yeah, it's totally possible. Then is it really true? You lost your memory.
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too. And when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. I figured it out, like, Trial 2. But sure. But what would make you forget about all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow, they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However,
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did that and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind. One of us? If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why... Dying. Which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. And that was just intuition, but... No, what it was is he was cute and innocent and wouldn't do anything wrong in his life ever. He was the good boy golden retriever vibes were too overwhelming. I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand.
You okay, bro? No. No. No.
I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Don't die, I need to finish this chapter. Yeah, priorities. It's just like the dream I had before, but... Why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah. It's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? Oh, you trust me? Oh, you trust me? You trust me? Right, okay, fine. Okay. It's just, I'm not used to relying on others. Makoto's tripping again. Makoto ate something bad while he was down here and he's tripping absolute balls.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability. What everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. The ultimate detective.
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy was someone I had to find here in school. You had to find someone. Who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. Yeah, ultimate detective, Sherlock Holmes, everybody. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Oh, I called this as well. I immediately called it right before she said it. Because he's my father. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad? Is Hope's Peak headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. No matter what it takes. I will find the headmaster.
no matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko? What's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point. But when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Oh, this is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, the room would likely hold more clues. So I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? At that part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized. Whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important, and really ominous. She's got quite the connection to this place.
However...
Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then, who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared. And in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following these rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey.
I don't know if it's that there's an actual tie between them, or whether it's just because is the mastermind being puppeteered by someone? Aside from their own ethics, I suppose, and a desire to treat everyone fairly, there's no reason for them to stick to the rules like that, considering they're the tyrant in charge. There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. What, when she came into my room? I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... during the night? I thought that was Mukuro. I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What the fuck are you talking about now? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases, just like this.
Anyway...
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
Yeah, she's kind of strong. She took on a knife wielder and won. That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... whoever the Master Assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro was also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. That's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Yeah, they're making, strange decisions that don't make sense. Probably stressing them out a little bit. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair?
It would seem...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're...
Indeed.
Make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. And there it is. Chapter 5. Done. And nobody died except, Mukuro, but who cares? I got a rocket. Hey. This game's got me so invested. Isn't it brilliant? It was at this moment where I was like, I've got to stream this. I have to share how much I like this. Such a good game. So fascinating. This is where it all starts kicking off. And we've still got like another 10 hours of gameplay to go through. Hey, 5 alive. There are 5 alive. Actually, there's 6 alive. Anyway. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Wait, is the Mastermind like an organization? A group? That doesn't make sense though. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now...
Anyway...
Right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. She is right. And as a result, I am now going to take a break. We win. I did it. I did the chapter 5, my favorite chapter. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Best chapter. It's great, right? Great game. Super well written. At least in terms of the actual narrative. It's a decently... It's shorter, I'd say. It's a shorter chapter, and it's also much shorter class trial. But it's so fun. It's got plenty of content to make up for it. Unfortunately, I'm still not done with the Genocide Jack analysis, otherwise I would sit here for the next 45 minutes and talk about that. But, I only have one more thing to do about that. I've done all the Jack the Ripper stuff. Now I just have to talk about, or do some research on her Japanese name. Which should be fine. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to finishing this. Oh, by the way, everything that happens from this point on is stuff I haven't seen. So I don't know what the course of events are for the next part of the chapter. When I had the game on Switch, that point there was where I ended it. So, yeah. Everything from here on out is new to me. So you'll be seeing my raw, unedited, experience, pretty much. You'll see all my unedited reactions. You'll see everything completely new. Everything I see will be new to me, and I'll have no idea. Everything will be authentic. So, because of that, I probably won't be able to do as many analyses, because a lot of my analyses come from looking at what other people are saying online, and also thinking about it, which takes a lot of time. So, and also context that happens later on in the game. So, when I was talking about like Byakuya and stuff, I was doing that during Chapter 2, but I was using knowledge that I had of him throughout the rest of the game to help with my analysis, which when I played something like Danganronpa 2, that isn't going to be possible, because I'm not going to have that context. So I'm really going to have to try and pay attention to little things that get said so that I can come back to them and maybe do my analyses later on. I don't know how it's going to go, but hopefully the fact that it will be all new, I'll be theorizing as I play along, and I'll be making a bunch of probably extremely wrong conclusions. So hopefully that will make up for the lack of analyses, and it'll replace the analysis with my reactions, which will hopefully be just as interesting. Do-do-do-do-do.